Hello everyone, it is Monday of the Easter octave. And in the traditional calendar, I'm sorry if I'm a little shaky, I had 2 cups of coffee and I'm pumped up this morning. In the Easter octave of Monday of the Easter octave, in the traditional calendar, we have the reading from the Gospel of St. Luke of the road to Emmaus. In the new calendar, it's going to be on Wednesday. So I'd like to read the story to you, but using playing cards. Hope you enjoy this. Just give me a moment while I set this up. Okay, so we have a blue deck of playing cards, and to set the story up, we're going to use the black jacks as the 2 disciples who are leaving Jerusalem going to Emmaus. And we're going to use the King of Hearts as Jesus. Of course, he is the King of our hearts. In that time, 2 of the disciples of Jesus went the same day to a town which was 60 furlongs from Jerusalem, named Emmaus. And they talked together of all these things which had happened. And it came to pass that while they talked and reasoned with themselves, Jesus himself also, drawing near, went with them. But their eyes were held, that they should not know him. And he said to them, What are these discourses that you hold one with another as you walk, and are sad? And the one of them, whose name was Cleophas, answering, said to him, Art thou only a stranger to Jerusalem, and hast not known the things that have been done there in these days? To whom he said, What things? And they said, Concerning Jesus of Nazareth, who was a prophet, mighty in work and word before God and all the people, and how our chief priests and princes delivered him to be condemned to death and crucified him. But we hoped that it was he that should have redeemed Israel. And now besides all this, today is the 3rd day since these things were done. Yea, and certain women also of our company affrighted us, who before it was light were at the sepulchre, and not finding his body, came, saying that they had also seen a vision of angels, who say that he is alive. And some of our people went to the sepulchre, and found it so as the women had said, but him they found not. Then he said to them, O foolish and slow of heart to believe in all things which the prophets have spoken. Ought not Christ to have suffered these things, and so to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded to them in all the scriptures the things that were concerning him. And they drew nigh to the town, whither they were going. And he made as though he would go farther. But they constrained him, saying, Stay with us, because it is towards evening, and the day is now far spent. And he went in with them, and came to pass, whilst he was at table with them, he took bread, and blessed, and brake, and gave to them. And their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said one to the other, Was not our heart burning within us, whilst he spoke in this way, and opened to us the scriptures? And rising up the same hour, they went back to Jerusalem, and they found the 11 gathered together, and those that were staying with them, saying, The Lord is risen indeed, and hath appeared to Simon. And they told what things were done in the way, and how they knew him in the breaking of the bread. Now whilst they were speaking these things, Jesus stood in the midst of them and said to them, Peace be to you. It is I, fear not. But they, being troubled and frightened, supposed that they saw a spirit. And he said to them, Why are you troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your hearts? See my hands and feet, that it is I myself. Handle and see, for a spirit hath not flesh and bones, as you see me to have. And when he had said this, he showed them his hands and feet. Now I'm going to read to you from the Gospel of St. John, chapter 21. It's another account of the resurrection of Jesus. After this, Jesus showed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. And he showed himself after this manner. There were together Simon, Peter, and Thomas, who is called Didymus, and Nathanael, who was of Cana of Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee, and 2 others of his disciples. Simon Peter saith to them, I go a-fishing. They said to him, We also come with thee. And they went forth, and entered into the ship. And that night they caught nothing. But when the morning was come, Jesus stood on the shore. Yet the disciples knew not that it was Jesus. Jesus therefore said to them, Children, have you any meat? They answered him, No. He saith to them, Cast the net on the right side of the ship, and you shall find. They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it, for the multitude of fishes. That disciple therefore whom Jesus loved said to Peter, It is the Lord. Simon Peter, when he heard that it was the Lord, girt his coat about him, for he was naked, and cast himself into the sea. Hey, if you want to see another card trick, I'm going to put a video up here or down below in the description. Check it out, and please consider subscribing. God bless, and happy Easter.